This week, we journey from prehistoric dinosaurs to feudal Japan, and even into a solarpunk future. And if you're disappointed we didn't open this with a pumpkin spice latte joke, well, maybe next week. Remember Farm Folks? No? Well, neither do we. But if you do, that game is now called Autonomica. And wow, does this look ambitious. So ambitious that it reached $1 million on Kickstarter back in April and is now heading to early access in November. The game throws you into a solarpunk open-world survival adventure, where you play as a logistics engineer rebuilding civilization after a crash. And we really mean an entire civilization. What starts out as your typical combine this stick with a stone and craft an axe rope turns technical very quickly. You will find yourself creating production lines, automating crafting, growing crops, and more on your way to success. There is even a story where you unravel the time-warping mysteries of the planet, which, according to the devs, offers a seamless world without loading screens, weather, seasons, and full day-night cycles. And these are not just for dynamic scenery, but tie into the gameplay loop as well. While your routine starts with tending fields or wiring solar grids at day, the objectives shift by night, when phantoms rise from fractured timelines that can be captured for rare energy. But the most important part, the game is built around co-op. Players can build shared farms, coordinate conveyor networks, and automate factories using solar drones and monorail transport. Your progress even carries over between the persistent worlds, making it easy to switch between solo and group sessions. Perfect for groups with different life schedules. The nightly time rifts can even be explored deeper with missions that range from simple extraction gameplay to PvP missions. But don't worry, peaceful players can ignore combat entirely, focusing on crafting, building, and tending their sunflower fields. And if only half of the promised features will make it to the game, this will definitely be worth a look. The first alpha is launching in November, but it's gonna be Kickstarter backers only for now. Valguero Ascended has ascended to Ark Survival Ascended. I see what you did there. The original Valguero was a free DLC for Ark Survival Evolved and has gotten a huge remaster for its relaunch, bringing a complete visual and gameplay overhaul to one of the community's most beloved maps. It launched on October 7 as a free update and offers over 63 square kilometers of handcrafted wilderness, with 10 diverse biomes that range from glowing tundras and vast redwoods to jungles and frozen snowfields. If the fauna wasn't so dangerous, this would be the perfect holiday location. And talking of dangerous, the update also brings returning inhabitants of the original, ranging from drakes to golems and mega raptors. But there is also new stuff, like Grundle, a new endgame boss, or the Elder Claw companion. The latter looks especially interesting, with his nature-based abilities that buff allies and bind foes with wands. This mystical creature can be tamed through nurturing seedlings, but at the moment it's only available if you own the Lost Colony expansion pass. Valguero Ascended fully supports all of Ark's multiplayer systems, from online and LAN co-op to cross-platform play and official servers with persistent worlds. If you haven't played Ark in a while, this prehistoric nostalgia trip is the perfect reason to sharpen your spear once again. At this time of year, games usually begin to launch their Halloween events. But although the latest update for New World Eternum looks exactly like one of these, the content is actually part of Season 10 and designed to stay. So if you celebrate spooky season all year round, you are in luck. Nighthaven is a new gothic region cut off from Eternum, filled with dark pine forests, foggy villages, and gloomy castles. But that's just the surface. What lies underneath is even better. Catacombs, submerged ruins, and caves full of spiders? Oh, come on! This free update expands the endgame with the new story arc, that also raises the level cap to 70 and the gear score limit to 800. The release also brings new gameplay elements like dual attribute weapon scaling, reworked perks, and a new charm socketing system. Exploration gets a new collectible touch with the Arcana Tarot system that unlocks hidden caches and elite chests. Meanwhile, PvP fans can take their differences to The Tower, a new 20 vs 20 outpost rush, a map built around vertical castle warfare. But Nighthaven's co-op content is where the update truly shines. The previously mentioned Catacombs mode introduces procedurally generated 3-player dungeons, with branching paths, increasingly difficult enemies, and an extraction twist. Because if you don't manage to escape in time, or if your team falls, you lose most of your loot. So venture carefully and avoid spiders. Always. If you have tons of friends at your disposal, you can also tackle the Isle of Night raid. This raid is a 10-player gauntlet of bosses and puzzles. All the rewards are unified among these different activities. So it's really up to your liking how you get them. And the best of it all, there are no weekly loot caps. So you can farm unique cosmetics, mounts, and powerful gear for hours on end. So better plan your autumn holidays accordingly when it launches on October 31st. You probably have heard of Genshin Impact by now, or maybe you're living under the coziest rock out there. Whatever the case, you might also know that this isn't exactly the game that screams co-op, although there are some limited multiplayer modes. Until now. This fall, Genshin Impact gets the Miliastra Wonderland, launching with version Luna 2 in late October 2025. The Wonderland lets you use the Miliastra sandbox editor, a robust toolset that builds levels using Genshin's assets, characters, outfits, enemies, and environment of the past 5 years. It lets you design survival challenges, races, housing, basically whatever you like. Want a vampire-themed dungeon or a hilly churl MOBA arena? The editor has it all. It also supports animations, scripting, and modular mechanics for an endless variety. You can even design your own achievements for others that play your content. And don't worry about the complexity. There will be plenty of tutorials available on launch. But the editor is only one part, as co-op is the real star of this update. You may team up to co-create worlds in real time, tweaking puzzles or combat zones with friends. Play user-made content together like party games, co-op quests with branching narratives, or PvP showdowns in custom arenas. The social hub lets you browse trending creations, team up, or rate favorites. This hub is the center of it all. But until now, every person in a co-op session just impersonated one of the gacha characters of the game, which wasn't very personal. This is about to change too, as you get your own little avatar called Mannequin. These mannequins are completely customizable with different clothes, looks, colors, you name it. You can even use them in the actual game world as an extension of the game's main character. Hopefully with a less yawny idle animation than Lumine. There will be a separate battle pass and an exclusive gacha that is tied to creator tokens without having to spend primo gems. Specifics are not yet fully clear, but as always, we will keep you updated. The creators of Astroneer are heading back into space, this time with a brand new adventure. Starseeker Astroneer Expeditions isn't a sequel, but a reimagination of the franchise. By taking what was already there in the first game and putting some extraction shooter and exploration elements on top. This standalone co-op game sends players aboard the ESS Starseeker, a massive space station simultaneously serving as a hub and the launch point for planetary expeditions. As recruits of the Frontier Force, players can tackle missions solo or with up to 3 friends. Each expedition unfolds in 3 phases. Prepare, where you craft, trade and plan. Deploy, where you touch down on alien planets to gather resources, complete objectives, and stay alive before time or oxygen runs out. And Return, where you regroup on the Starseeker to plan your next expedition. So in short, it's like Deep Rock Galactic if those poor dwarves ever actually saw the surface of their planet. We only got a glimpse of the first planet, Tephra, that offers a mix of lush jungles, deep oceans, and handcrafted terrain full of secrets and hazards. Which brings us to the extraction shooter. You won't compete against each other, but rather fight against hostile wildlife instead. Hopefully, there will be a multi-tool nozzle that packs a punch for that. Other than that, it can be equipped with different nozzles for terraforming, manipulating water, or flinging objects around. And if it's anything like Astroneer, you, your buddies, and your buggies will soon find yourselves among the flung objects. Into the distance, into space, and into your own grave. All completely involuntary memories. According to the developers, the game draws inspiration from series like Star Trek, with the goal of offering players a sense of contributing to a larger mission, while also having fun with friends or the community. It will be launching in 2026 on PC and consoles, while the original still will continue to receive updates, with the Megatech DLC coming next, introducing massive automation tools and megastructures. What do Black Ops 7, Forza Horizon 6, and Flight Simulator 2024 have in common? They are all owned by Microsoft. But also, all of them have Japan and Asia-oriented content lined up for release this year. Coincidence? Who knows? But the Asian continent definitely makes for a great setting. So it's no surprise that the fourth major DLC for Crusader Kings 3 takes players there. The update, All Under Heaven, expands the map eastward, introducing China, Japan, and Southeast Asia, making it the largest update in the series' history. Each region comes with a different playstyle. In China, you play as an emperor, where you progress through eras of prosperity and unrest, while avoiding imperial collapse. Meanwhile, Japan focuses on the rise of shogunates and clan blocks, where honor, alliances, and internal cohesion play a crucial part in power struggles. And finally, Southeast Asia introduces Mandala empires, ruled by god kings. The gameplay centers around faith, building radiant temple complexes, and command tributes in exchange for devotion and power. The multiplayer again supports up to 32 players in shared, allied, or competitive gameplay. But all participating players need to own the DLC to play its content together. So if you have ever wanted to reenact the clash between Shogun and Emperor with your friends in a historically authentic setting, you will get your chance when the DLC launches on October 28. Daimon Blades surprised us twice this week. First, with their trailer, which came out of nowhere and was titled First Look, and their launch into early access one day later. These guys are clearly not wasting any time. According to the developers, the game is a prequel to Divine Cybermancy, that released 14 years ago, with a narrative taking place 2000 years before its predecessor. So instead of a grim first-person shooter set in a cyberpunk world, you are now playing in a grim first-person slasher with swords and magic instead of guns. Alrighty. You play as one of the Secreta, descending into the Diamond Realm to hunt abominations. Each expedition is procedurally generated, with your living weapon, the Daimon Blade, mutating and evolving as it drinks enemy blood. Every run reshapes your combat style through newly unlocked powers, while meta progression lets you enhance weapons and characters between missions. Daimon Blades also supports online co-op for up to 4 players, with drop-in, drop-out functionality that doesn't interrupt the game progress. And you can even use weapon synergies and combine skills to face against overwhelming hordes together. Or die trying. But hey, at least you're not alone. The devs promise ongoing updates, story expansions, and community-driven improvements until its final release. Valorant just added a new agent where the playstyle is already in the name, Vito. Because whatever the enemy tries, Vito has something to say about it, as his kit is designed to counter heavy utility usage in competitive multiplayer by nullifying abilities and tech. Alongside Vito, the new custom game mode Skirmish launched as well. This is designed around customizable quick battles and duels, allowing you to create everything from 1v1 to 5v5 matches, including asymmetric ones. Releasing games into early access has become so common lately that it's almost surprising when a game actually uses this phase to improve. Or, even more rare, fully releases at some point. With their new update Bloom and Blight, Aloft is one of these exceptions, taking player feedback seriously. The update improves almost every aspect of the game, including the world itself, with enhanced world generation that creates more diverse floating islands, and the addition of wind lanes for faster group exploration between them. All progression mechanics get revamped and improved, with new tech trees, weapons, and tools, just to name a few. This week, Kingmakers was delayed a second time. Originally set to launch this October, it's now delayed indefinitely. Although being in the top 10 of Steam's wishlist, the project just turned out to be a bit too ambitious, it seems. And some more bad news, Hyper Lightbreaker is ending development and laying off staff. This comes after mixed receptions of the game on launch and unforeseen challenges during the development. The game will not shut down yet, but don't expect any major updates anymore. This week we have a ton of free stuff for you. First off, over at the Epic Games Store, you can grab the Rogue Journeyman bundle for Albion. Since Albion is a free game, this bundle is specifically designed for new players to kickstart their adventures, although it also includes some neat cosmetics. Over on Steam, you can play Grounded 2 for free this weekend. And although the game is still in early access, it's tons of fun already. Also on Steam, you can play Power Wash Simulator for free until October 13, a perfect warm-up for the release of Power Wash Simulator 2 on October 23rd. And if cleaning all that dirt is too nerve-wracking for you, Kingdom 2 Crowns also has a laid-back demo this weekend. So laid back, in fact, that Nox kinda zoned out completely the last time we played it. But it's beautiful and charming nonetheless. But that's all for this week. We wish you a lot of fun in co-op with your favorite people, and we'll see you again in the next one.